Hello everyone, my name is Huahwi and welcome to my Viper lineup guide on Pearl. My goal for these lineup videos is to show you guys lineups that are very effective, efficient, without being too overcomplicated for your ranked games. So we're gonna start here on B. This is my default Viper wall that cuts off B halls and B link. Very simple wall here. Now for your orb, I like to throw mine towards B tower. We're gonna run up towards this double stack. And we're gonna aim the fuel HUD, the bottom left corner, towards right there where my crosshair is. And you just throw it. It will land right on tower. That is my basic attack setup towards B. Very simple. I don't always like to throw the smoke towards heaven because you don't really need to. So after placing your wall and your smoke towards tower, you could come back here and add an extra layer by lining up your molly right here, and we're gonna put the middle part of the HUD towards the left side of this window, and you're gonna line it up on top of that curve and the side of the window. This molly will go straight into the pit here, so make sure to communicate to your teammates that you're gonna molly first when it's gonna land, so you guys won't get crept up on this cubby area, because the defenders do get here first. You can wall up once your teammates get pretty close here, and boom, all you gotta do is clear screens. So if your teammates are planting backside, you know, you can just right click your smoke here, create a one-way for the plant, and you know, you just have to not throw the smoke towards heaven, because this smoke isn't always necessary. So sometimes you do want to save your smoke for the post plant, because this fight is kind of a 50-50. To be honest, I think it actually favors the people towards low ground, because you're already at headshot angle when they peek out here, and they kind of have a hard time seeing your little head unless they're just really used to the angle, but they got to worry about here and then here, and yeah, I don't know. It's like a 50-50 angle. Simple molly for backside. If they're planning next to the double stack, you want to stand right here towards the ramp in the middle of it. Pretty simple. So you see this mountain right here. You want to go up towards between the pillar and this left side of the roof. So right in the middle. Pretty simple. There's a lot of room for error, and that's going to land towards the back site. So if you feel like you're playing too far back and you don't feel comfortable playing this far back, and you know, maybe some of your teammates are playing closer, you want to trade off them a little bit more aggressively, you could play behind pillar here. As you guys can see, there's a cross here, the first plus. We're gonna go to the second plus right here and line up the center of your crosshair with this plus. Doesn't have to be too exact, and what you're gonna do is aim your crosshair to this top right side of this pillar, this thick part of the pillar right here, right on top of it. Really simple. Throw your molly, it's gonna shoot over it and land right towards the backside. It takes a little bit more time for this molly to land, so you're gonna have to time this. So going back to this pillar on the second plus right here, there's also another lineup for default. So for the default plant, you want to line up your like middle right line of the fuel. Like this one is a little bit tricky. You just want to line it up towards this line right here. You see this pillar, the center of the pillar, you want to look to the right. This line, you want to align that with this part of the fuel bar, that white line, and you're just gonna shoot it. It's gonna go all the way up and it's going to come back down. It's gonna take a little bit of time for it to land, and it will always perfectly land towards default. Big spread here. That's your post plant mollies for B site. So heading towards the A site here, when you're attacking, you want to go towards this corner of the wall. You want to line up your wall with this corner of A link is how I like to do it, because I like this wall to cover like all of A link. You don't want anybody sitting towards this corner, and this will also cut off most of flower here. It leaves a little bit of room for a guy to peek out here, but that's okay. There is no perfect wall for cutting off A link and flower, but I think this one is the best one that I found, where you give a little bit extra space towards flower, but you completely cut off A link here, because you don't want somebody to be playing close A link here and, you know, kill off your guy towards A main. So yeah, that's gonna be your wall, and you know, with this same lineup, you could aim right here where my crosshair is placed, towards the middle of these two corners. Generally, you know, if you aim anywhere around this area, you will be able to do very similar smoke. But I like to aim towards the middle of this corner, and this smoke will land perfectly towards the secret area, towards the dugout area, and it will cover this right here. You don't want a gap right here, and you don't want to throw it too deep, you don't want to throw it too close. I think this is the best smoke that I can find. So this is my basic A execute. I'm gonna have the wall on the left side. It's gonna block flowers and A link. I'm gonna have the smoke that blocks secret, and I'm gonna molly backside right there, because a lot of people like playing backside. You do want to molly for that. So if you guys look at my crosshair, I'm gonna aim towards, you see this I don't know what you call this, like a highway. It's not really a highway, but you know, let's just call this, you know, this long highway. To the left, oh, that's my alarm. To the left of this light, this highway, you're gonna see this diamond right here. So this first diamond on the left of this like light highway thingy, you're gonna aim towards the left side of the diamond. So left and left, right there. The left side of this diamond, we're gonna put the C HUD of the molly, the left side of the C HUD, right there. You guys can see that. Pretty simple. You're gonna molly up here, activate your wall, activate your smoke, and everything's walled up, and that molly is going to land towards backside and covers everything. This guy is gonna have to peek out left or right. So we're gonna take back the smoke, and we're gonna go to the other side of this this pillar area. We're gonna go to this corner. And if you want to throw your smoke to do like a little one-way for this plant, you like to aim at the left side of this curve. I like to aim at this corner right here. This will land on top of the A default spot. So it'd be like a little one-way. You also cover secret, which is great. So after throwing your toxin orb, there's actually a molly lineup for pulse plant here. So where my crosshair is, you want to aim this bottom left side of your E HUD right there. It's hard to explain. I'm just going to show you guys, but you know, you see this corner right there. You want to aim this part of your HUD right there. I think it's pretty easy to remember. This takes a little bit of time for this molly to land, so you just got to make sure the comms are good. And yeah, throw out this molly, and you're gonna activate the orb. This molly is gonna land right there. It's the guy that's defusing, he's going to take so much damage from this. And yeah, so after planting the bomb, if you don't want to throw your orb lineup from back there, you could just, you know, just eyeball this. I like to aim towards like the middle of this box and just jump, left click. I want to jump as high as I could before left clicking here. So those are my two attack setups for B and A. Now we're going to go on the defense here. The defense, it gets a little bit interesting. So starting from B, you like to place your B wall right here where it cuts off this corner of the pillar, because this will also block most of the pit area here. I like this wall. This is my default wall towards B. So they don't, you know, they can't really, they have to pass through the wall if they want to get on top of this angle. This is a very deadly wall. This will stop the early push, force them to use all of their flashes and their initiator abilities. And then we're gonna run back here. Once we're at spawn, 1, 2, 3, the third sign over here, we're gonna aim the crosshair and hug this middle thickness part right here, and we're gonna aim our orb right there and do a jump throw. This jump throw, this is gonna land the orb towards A main, so you can defend A main with your smoke orb, and you can wall off B. You want to throw this at 2 seconds, you know, during the buy phase, because if you throw it at 3 or after, it will hit the barrier. So at 2 seconds, I'm going to throw this. The barriers will go down, and then it'll bounce off the wall and go in towards A main. If you throw it not at 2 seconds or earlier, it will bounce off and land like somewhere over here, and the orb will no longer be as useful, as deep. So you want to throw that toxin orb at 2 seconds. But yeah, this orb is being thrown here only because you don't want to play A. So after throwing that, you know, you don't want to play A, you want somebody else anchoring A, and you want to play towards B, or you want to play towards mid doors. You could double up here. If you have a read on your opponent, you think they're gonna, you know, rush mid doors over here, and you know, your teammate's just gonna have to call out if they're going A, and you're gonna have to activate your orb for them. Now if you want to play A, obviously you could just literally throw your orb on A and you could just play A, and you know, you can molly them off if you hear them coming, or you could push up, double over your teammate. Maybe like a flash character like Sky or Yoru is pretty good on this map, and I guess you guys can fight A main together. Definitely don't want to push up A main by yourself, because if you die early as a Viper, you basically lose A and your team is going to have to play retake. Now if you're playing A and your teammate is calling that they're rushing B or they're coming B fast, they're already up pillar, you know, you want to put your wall for your teammates. And if you feel like you're pretty safe, and if you don't hear anything towards A and you want to help your teammates from A, if you're anchoring A, you don't want to over rotate, because that could be a fake towards B. But what you can do to help your teammates towards B, if it's not a fake, you could just hug this wall right here, and you could actually molly default from here. Now this is a little bit complicated, but this is something that, you know, is a thing. So what we're going to do is hug this wall right here, and we're going to aim part of the molly HUD towards this corner of the balcony. So when we pull out our molly, the HUD appears. We're gonna aim that diamond, that little white diamond inside of the HUD on top of the molly right here, and we're just gonna count to 1, run forward and throw the molly. This is not a jump throw, this is just a run molly. We're just gonna run for a second and left click. So 1, and that, oh, I dropped my gun. That is going to land on default. I ran a little bit too far here. So we're just going to have to do that again. Once again, this is a little bit complicated. So just run for half a second. You're just gonna have to time this in your head. Hug here. We're gonna aim the HUD right there, the diamond, and half a second. So, you know, you just sprint it for a little bit. You actually, yeah, boom, perfect. That is perfect. Okay, so it's like half a second. Once again, you don't need to know this. This is just extra. This one is, you know, you're kind of exposed to A main, so somebody could be lurking on you. So it's up to you if you want to have that in your molly lineup arsenal. But here's a safer one. If you actually want to rotate off A and just fast rotate towards B, just gonna leave A. You know, your ranked games, some people don't like to lurk, some people don't like to play default, they just like to rush A or rush B or rush art or rush mid doors, and you just want to rotate off A. We're just gonna play A retake. We're gonna come to spawn over here, and right here on the floor, we're gonna aim our crosshair at this corner, and we're going to aim towards this tip of the boat sail, the top of this boat sail. We're gonna line up our HUD. There's this little line near your HP bar. I'm just gonna show you guys. This is a molly lineup. We're gonna aim on top of that boat sail and extend it, is how I like to think of it. We're gonna extend the little boat sail, the tippity top of it, and this is a molly towards the default plant. So once you're rotated off A and you come to spawn, you can actually molly off the plant here if your teammates have any decent communication. That's gonna bounce off this wall, and it's a perfect molly. So we're going to go back towards A here. This one you don't need to know, it's not a true one way, but there is a toxin orb lineup here towards art. If you decide to play art here, we're gonna, you see this brown drywall, we're just gonna hug towards the center of this right part of the wall, and we're going to aim right here where my crosshair is, right there at the corner. That is going to create not a true one-way, but you know, it's a pretty good one-way, sort of a one-way that will add a lot of pressure towards people that are rushing art. So how it looks like for the people attacking, they could still see your legs here, but right here they can't really see your legs when they're, you know, this close to this generator here. But from back here, they could actually still see you a little bit, but a little bit closer, they won't be able to see you clearly. If they're crouching, they can't see you. So once again, this is not a true one-way, but it is, you know, a decent one-way sort of orb smoke towards art. You know, if they are rushing art, you want to double up here. You don't want to play this by yourself because you're gonna get dogged, you're gonna get flashed, you're just gonna have a tough time. If you're committed to this angle, you're gonna get traded and it's not gonna be a good trade favorable to you. This is going to favor the attackers. So you want to double up here if you have the read here. But most of the time, if you're a Viper, you're not going to be playing here. So if you're a Viper that wants to play B, which I don't really recommend Viper playing B, but she's actually pretty good on B too. Why you don't want to play Viper on B is because you can't, there's no like Molly choke point. You have to throw like 2 mollies, but you could definitely slow down a B push. You know, by any means, she is not bad on playing B because there is a one-way for Viper here, and you can control your wall and play off your wall a little bit more naturally when you're playing B. But Viper generally is better towards A because of the A main choke point. You could just orb, molly, and they literally can't push through that. Generally, if you want to stack your smoke and your wall towards B, you want to do this wall, fight early with this wall, and we're gonna line up a one-way orb towards B main over here. So you see this window, you turn around this corner, you line yourself up with the middle of this window, and you look down. You aim your crosshair all the way towards this thicker part of the top line right there, and we're gonna look at the window again, aim towards the middle of this window, take out your orb, and right click it, and that will always land right there. So you're gonna fight early here, you get to spray through here a little bit, they're gonna have to flash through it, dog through it, use their abilities, and if they do that, you know, tell your teammates, I'm putting wall down, and now that they're a little bit closer, they have control of B main, you're gonna do this one way right here, and you can play right here, so if they do push through it, it's pretty nice. If they're gonna dog through it, you can break the dog and then change your angle. And if they're gonna push a little bit deeper, that's just free damage for you as a Viper. This one way is super effective. There's also another good Toxin Orb here on B. Now, this could be for attacking or defending B site here. What you can do now, this is, you know, very situational. There is a one way towards B link here, and it's really easy. Just the center of this gap right here, and you just throw it right there in the middle. And what's that gonna do is create a hard one way. Like, this is a true one way where you will stop the people that are pushed B link, and they're just gonna have to regroup somewhere else or force push into death. So how that looks like on the attacking side is they literally can't see you at all. I mean, I guess maybe they could see the right side very slightly, but this is a true one way, and that is going to slow down the B link push right there. And if you're on the attacking side and you're a Viper that's pushed up towards B link, which is pretty rare that you can get into this position and throw that smoke, but you know, if you can get into this position and throw this smoke, and you know, you didn't throw your smoke towards heaven, you actually save your smoke or post plan, you could get up here and just you see, it's, you know, you gotta get really close to be safe, and you know, it doesn't always land here, so you're gonna have to get really close here, and you know, sometimes it doesn't even land here, so it's not safe. It's really not that safe attacking as a Viper using that as post plan, but it does help your team. You know, very situational. I think you're gonna have to switch up your wall if you want to throw that post plant smoke. You want to wall up heaven a little bit here, something like this. I think I don't think this wall is good because it doesn't block all of heaven here, but it, you know, it's pretty good. You know, this wall is not bad at all. Like, it's actually not bad at all. So after, you know, you put that down, you could put this smoke here, something like that. I don't know. You know, let's just say you have the hard read and you want to completely own the other team, and you know that they're going to be coming towards mid doors, and you want to stop that from happening. They're always breaking the chamber trip. They're always breaking cipher trips. You know, Killjoy alarm bot. If you play Killjoy and Pearl, she's not too bad. There is a one way here towards mid doors. What you want to do is line up your crosshair down here, right there towards the corner of this thing right here, and right there we're gonna aim at my crosshair right there at this corner, and we're gonna do a jump throw. So jump throw like pretty quickly, not at the same time. It's like jump then throw, like really quickly. And that's going to land there. If the left click doesn't work, you could right click it and it will land there too. But the left click does work too. And if they're gonna push through this, they can't see anything. Like they're gonna have to crouch, and maybe they can kill you off crouching. But this is a one way, and you know, it's pretty good. I actually accidentally left clicked and it worked, but I think it's more consistent jump right clicking because it'll always land gently at the corner right there. And yeah, so yeah, this orb, I don't think it's that good, but you know, every once in a while that is a thing. That is a thing. So let's say your team plants the bomb on default, or they plant out in the open right here, and you guys take control of art. After planting the bomb, you guys have full control of art, and you feel pretty safe that no one is going to come from here. You could go up towards this corner, and you know, this is once again very, very situational. I don't think this is a good spot, but there are Molly lineups from here for default and for, you know, a little bit closer towards A main right there out in the open. If it's planted for art, you could just swing out in the open and fight right there. We're gonna aim right here where my crosshair is, the right side of this little mini pillar. I don't know what you call this. It's like this balcony pillar thing. So right there where my crosshair is, we're gonna aim the left side of our fuel bar right there. You know, there's a lot of room for error here. Very simple lineup. This will hit the default plant position right there. If you want to molly out in the open, like front A site right there, if you have the chance, rarely would you have the chance to plant there unless you have art control. What you could do is aim towards right here, the tip of this like black spot right here. So you see how it's like 1, 2, 3, the third one right here. We're gonna count this one as 1, this one is 2, 3. The tip of this right here, we're gonna use the Viper Ultimate HUD. We're just gonna fill in that spot right there, and we're just gonna throw the molly. That should land right out in the open somewhere over here. And yeah, really good molly if you have art control, but once again, it's very rare that you can get into this position super safely unless you know that the other team is retaking from flower in secret and there's only like 1 or 2 opponents remaining, and you know where everybody is on the enemy team. You could play this position, and it's really strong. The lineups are pretty easy for, you know, planning out in the open and planning towards default. But you know, in your ranked games, I don't think anyone will ever plant here, and you're just gonna have to coordinate your team to fight art and take control of that, trying to squeeze the guy to back off this area, and you have to know where the enemy teammates are to safely play this post plant position at the corner. So yeah, that is basically all of the Viper lineups that I know on Pearl. I think Viper is one of the stronger controllers that could solo control on Pearl. I feel like in a very high level, you do technically want to run double controller on this map because it's a hard map to control on defense. It's kind of like Bind. This map is kind of like Bind, where, you know, on defense, it's tough running single controller. You're kind of forced to take fights and push up for space. There's like 2 mids, right? Mid doors and art, and it's just, you're gonna have to give up one or the other, or double up one of the other, take a risk to fight mid every once in a while, and it's just really hard to play one controller on this map and defend both sides. But Viper, I think, is slightly better than Astra if you're running a solo controller on this map, because she can play both sides with her wall, and she could actually slow down plants with her molly. The thing about Astra is that she doesn't have a molly. She can't really slow down a push unless you time your suck right or your concuss right. So if you're running solo controller, solo smokes on Pearl, I think Viper is the strongest controller on Pearl. If you have the lineups for it, you know, tell your friends about this. I do like to spread the gospel of, you know, ranked players trying to play more supportive characters, because you know, these support characters can be pretty fun once you learn the lineups to it. And you know, a lot of ranked games, everybody's insta-locking, you know, double duelist, chamber. It's just, I think Viper is a free win in ranked if you know a couple of lineups, very, you know, standard stuff. You don't have to learn any crazy one ways or crazy molly setups. Honestly, you just need to know how to wall one site and orb like another site. I have 100% win rate on Viper. I usually almost always play Viper on Icebox and Breeze. I fill in Viper because nobody plays Viper, nobody wants to play Viper in ranked, and nobody knows lineups, and it's just a free win if you learn just a couple of basic lineups. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If this video has helped you, please smash that like button. It really does help me out a lot. And you know, the more likes I get, the more I feel like I could make more lineup videos for you guys. Having a lot of support on these lineup videos will motivate me and give me more of an incentive to make these lineup videos. I do have a lot of other characters that I have lineups on. It's not just Viper, and you know, there's a lot of maps here in Valorant that I could show you guys. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about.